Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today for this virtual presentation on artificial intelligence and the creative classroom. My name is Brad Olson, and I'm an assistant professor of art education at Eastern Illinois University. Today, I'm super excited to talk with you all about this topic because it has sparked some serious debate in the world of visual arts, media, and education. It seems like a lot of people are feeling pretty apprehensive about it all. Will this new technology replace the role of artists in creative industries? Will it dumb down our cultural production? And how is all of this going to affect the way students learn in the years to come? These are all really important questions that we should be asking ourselves as art educators. It's pretty much impossible to exist in the world today without being impacted by newly developed tools that use emerging technologies of artificial intelligence and machine learning. These technologies have been used to solve some pretty mundane problems for several years now. For most of us, computers have been helping us intelligently organize our inboxes, suggest responses in text or email, synchronize our schedules, and complete other menial tasks that we don't even think about anymore. But we haven't really stopped to think about just how much these tools have become a part of our everyday lives, or the ethical implications of their use in modern society. However, in the past few years, artificial intelligence and machine learning tools have been making waves in the creative worlds of visual arts and design. We've already seen AI-generated works like Portrait of Edmund de Bellamy by the art collective Obvious bring in some serious cash at reputable art auction houses. But despite all of this, there hasn't been a lot of focus on just how radically these tools may change the creative industries and worlds we inhabit. It's possible that these tools could completely reshape our notion of creativity in the years to come. That's why it's absolutely imperative for teachers to understand these trends so that we can better equip our students to live in the AI-assisted world that's emerging around us. The terms artificial intelligence and machine learning are often used interchangeably, but artificial intelligence refers specifically to computer systems designed to perform tasks typically performed by human intelligence. These tools have been performing mundane tasks for at least the past decade and have evolved to include traditionally human intelligences such as visual perception, speech recognition, decision-making, translation between languages, and more. As a result, AI tools are transforming the ways in which humans and computers interact to solve problems. Within the definition of AI, there are several different types of AI programs that serve various functions. One type of AI model is the classifier, which finds patterns and connections between data points fed into it. For example, a classifier AI model that has been fed a library of images can categorize those images based on visual similarity. This can be useful for comparing items in a large data set, which would take a human an incredible amount of time. Another well-known type of AI tool is the Generative Adversarial Network, or GAN. While the name may sound complicated, a GAN's function is fairly simple. It generates new data through an adversarial challenge. A GAN is made up of two sides, each performing a different role. The generator side of the program looks for similarities in a library of images to generate something new that is similar to the original data. The discriminator side of the program then determines whether the generated image is real or fake. At first, the generator may not be very good at fooling the discriminator, but with repeated efforts, it improves its ability to create new images, and the discriminator improves in its own ability to identify fake ones. This process is known as machine learning. Many image-generating AI platforms fall into the category of GANs, and this technology has led to newer and more sophisticated models for image generation. With an understanding of the basic types of AI technologies, it's important to consider where these tools are being used and the potential social, political, and creative issues they may present. One area where AI tools are frequently used is image recognition, especially for identifying individuals' faces. While many people use facial recognition technology to secure their devices, few consider how their image may be used for other purposes. For example, social media platform TikTok has been taken to court for allegedly collecting the facial data of U.S. citizens without their knowledge. Additionally, AI firm Clearview is reportedly building a database of 100 billion faces, raising concerns about civil liberties. Facial recognition technologies are also subject to algorithmic bias, which creates unfair outcomes based on the data fed into the system. For example, Twitter's system for cropping full-sized images into thumbnail previews was found to systematically favor white faces over faces of people of color, a bias that can have negative consequences when the same technology is used in predictive policing algorithms or healthcare. The rapid improvement of AI technology also raises concerns about media literacy and the veracity of visual media in the future. The rise of deepfake videos, which map the faces of famous individuals onto other people's bodies, suggests that it will become increasingly difficult to distinguish real videos from fake ones. This is becoming especially difficult to do with still images, as some of the more popular image generators are getting better at recreating photorealistic effects. You may have seen some of these images of Donald Trump's arrest going around recently. Perhaps you also saw this photo of Pope Francis decked out in a puffy white coat. If you take a closer look, a trained eye might be able to tell they were generated by a machine, but for most lay people, it may not be so easy. Given these issues, it's important to approach the use of AI tools in visual art, design, and other creative fields with caution. Teachers should prioritize teaching students about these technologies so they can learn to use them more ethically and creatively. While these tools can offer new opportunities for collaboration, problem-solving, and creativity, it's essential to use them responsibly and to consider their potential impact on society as a whole. In order to teach AI responsibly in the classroom, I argue that we should look to artists who use these tools to expand their creativity instead of using them as a shortcut to art making. In many cases, this can be reframed as a human's collaboration with an AI counterpart, with each contributing to the project at hand. By studying artists such as Refik Anadol, Memo Akten, and Su-Gwen Chung, our students might gain insights into new creative practices emerging in the fields of art and design. Refik Anadol's works have recently made a splash in the art world, particularly in his creative uses of AI algorithmic tools that produce new types of work and blur the boundaries between the artist and his digital subject. In a series of pieces recently on display at MoMA, Anadol's unsupervised machine hallucinations take the shape of fluid and ethereal animated videos. Anadol is particularly interested in the subconscious and explores how that aspect of the human mind might translate into algorithmic form. By doing so, Anadol asks questions about whether these machines can really dream, and if so, what they might dream of. Another artist making clever use of AI technology in his work is Memo Akten. Akten trained a machine learning algorithm to see by using images that represent essential concepts in human life. He collected photos from Flickr that were tagged with words like world, universe, love, and more. From this dataset, he created some amazing works of art, including one called Learning to See. In this artwork, Akten uses the technology to explore how we make sense of the world around us. It's fascinating to think that the pictures we create in our minds are based on our prior experiences, expectations, and beliefs. Akten's work challenges us to think about our own cognitive biases and our ability to see things from different perspectives. And yet another artist using AI in novel ways is Su-Gwen Chung. She's created a series of robotic AI drawing companions that she calls Doug 1 through 3, short for Drawing Operations Unit Generation. With her various Doug assistants, Chung explores communication between people and machines and the fallibility of those machines. It's interesting to note that her collaboration with the robot began accidentally. The first version of Doug was meant to mimic Chung's brushstrokes exactly, but it turned out that the real robot had a mind of its own. By embracing the unpredictability of the machine, Chung discovered a whole new way to collaborate with it. All of these artists offer exciting possibilities for how humans can work alongside artificial intelligence tools. Rather than seeing these tools as just a click of a button solution, we can learn from these artists and use technology more ethically and creatively. As an educator, I believe that it's important to introduce students to these ideas so they can explore these technologies in their own unique ways. That's why I've found some low-tech AI and machine learning tools that teachers can use in their art classrooms. These tools are great for students of all ages and require minimal technological know-how. In the next section, I'll share some of these tools and offer suggestions for how to incorporate them into your lesson plans. One such tool is called Scroobly, which is perfect for younger kids. They can draw simple shapes and lines and use their device's camera to animate their characters. It's almost like putting on a puppet show. While the interface is easy to use, more advanced students can still create unique characters based on their own designs. Once the puppet is designed and animated, users can export the recording as a video file or animated GIF. Teachers can even have students design their own monsters and use body language to act scary, or imagine how their characters would introduce themselves, giving them personalities and backstories. Another great tool that's available for free is the Teachable Machine from Google's AI Labs. This platform allows users to create their own AI tools for a variety of purposes. And don't worry, you don't need to be an expert to get started. Every project in the Teachable Machine begins by feeding it a library of data that can be sorted into different categories, such as images, body positions, or audio files. There are examples and tutorials available on the website to help guide you through specific applications for the platform, such as detecting ripe bananas or creating musical instruments. Even novices can start with a simple project like creating an image detector machine. For example, some of my undergraduate art education students and I created a SpongeBob detector by feeding the machine a bunch of images of SpongeBob and his friend Patrick that we found online. They sorted the images into different categories, one for each character and one for neither. Then they trained the machine to recognize the unique features of each character. They tested the system by drawing their own pictures of SpongeBob or Patrick and gauged how well the machine recognized each character. It seems our simple machine was able to notice key features of each character, such as their color or shape, and recognize new drawings of each extremely well. Another tool produced by Google is called the TSNE map. It may not have the catchiest name, but it's a fascinating tool that can show the topography of the entire art world. Google created this tool in partnership with museums, galleries, and art collections from around the world. They fed a massive library of images into their algorithm, which then sorted them into a three-dimensional navigable map by looking for visual similarities among the images. This map doesn't just group together artifacts with similar colors and color schemes, but it also finds similarities between the subjects being depicted. You can take a tour of the map and explore various regions sorted into categories like Japanese woodcut prints, portraits, and photographs. Some regions are even named after geographic features like mountains, valleys, and islands. This could be an excellent curricular tool for students to explore the art world and create names for unnamed regions they find. Another activity could involve having students guess why the machine sorted certain images together when the connection isn't immediately apparent. While it may not be the flashiest tool, the TSNE map offers an interactive and explorative way for students to navigate the art world. If you're looking for a more advanced AI tool, check out GoGAN by the graphics firm NVIDIA. This tool is best suited for upper middle school or high school level students, and it allows users to create realistic computer-generated landscapes by inputting information in a variety of ways. GoGAN 2, the latest version of the tool, is free to use and web-based. Users can enter text of what they'd like to see into the input box at the top, or select various materials like grass, stone, mountains, rivers, and flowers from the right-hand menu. Using paintbrushes and bucket tools similar to those in MS Paint, users can start designing their unique worlds and see how their painted map translates into a photorealistic landscape image. GoGAN 2 allows users to go back and forth, add more detail and input, apply special color or lighting schemes, and import and adjust images with program tools. Students can use this tool to recreate famous landscape paintings, create their own dream worlds, or challenge the software to create abstract images from their input. Users can also create non-landscape images like portraits with the natural materials produced by the software, resulting in unique artworks. GoGAN 2 offers an automated tutorial that walks users through how to use the platform and its features. NVIDIA's newest extension of this software is called Canvas and is available for Windows PCs. This standalone software includes more sophisticated tools and allows artists to generate 360-degree panoramic landscapes that can be imported into virtual reality viewing devices. The last tools I'm going to talk about are called diffusion models. They're a type of image generator that works a bit differently from GANs, but you've probably already heard of them as they've been making a big splash in the art world lately. Remember the photos of Trump and the Pope I shared earlier? Well, most of those were probably made with one of these platforms. The primary model for this type of image generation is called Stable Diffusion. It's an open source algorithm that was one of the first text-to-image generators to become available to the public in intuitive interfaces. There are tons of image generators online that use the Stable Diffusion algorithm, like Diffuse the Rest. With this tool, you can draw a simple doodle, tell the software what you're trying to draw, and watch as it refines your drawing for you. The results might not be super polished, but it's definitely fun to see how the software interprets and extends your input. Another great and free-to-use Stable Diffusion platform is Dream Studio. Here, you can create more refined images than with Diffuse the Rest, and you have more control and special features for image generation. Like many of these tools, you can start with written text describing what you want to see, but you can also upload an original image to tweak, edit, and mutate with other parameters. For example, I took one of Andy Warhol's prints of Marilyn Monroe and directed Dream Studio to use that as inspiration to paint a portrait of a cyborg woman standing in the ruins of a once great civilization. The result was totally unique and incorporated a lot of features from the original image. I think this tool has a lot of potential for students who are trained to think creatively, and making art with it is much more profound than just generating art with the click of a button. Finally, you've probably heard of DALL-E 2, one of the first image generators to become popular in mainstream culture. If you've been on social media lately, you've likely seen people posting their DALL-E creations. Its results are some of the most sophisticated that are available to the layperson. DALL-E images tend to be higher resolution than Dream Studio's, and the editing features are comparable. One of DALL-E's key features is its outpainting ability. This means you can take a square image and train the software to complete what's just outside the frame when given a text-based prompt. This has been used to imagine what might be just outside the frame of Girl with the Pearl Earring, for example, or to complete a Van Gogh portrait. It could be really exciting to have students upload their original drawings or paintings and then collaborate with DALL-E to outpaint the rest. It's important to note that DALL-E's creator, OpenAI, does offer a limited amount of free generations to new users, but additional images come at a fairly marginal cost. So, I've covered some great tools for artists and students who are interested in working with artificial intelligence. However, with technology moving at such a rapid pace, new and exciting tools are becoming available every day. In fact, just in the weeks leading up to this presentation, I stumbled upon some new and improved models for generating videos from text and creating animations. It's amazing how quickly things are advancing. Speaking of which, if my voice has sounded a little funny in this video, it's because I used an AI clone of my own voice to narrate it. I used 11 Labs voice clone software to upload a few minutes of my voice from demo videos and tutorials I've previously made, and the software did the rest by reading my script. I even used ChatGPT to review my script for grammar and make it sound more conversational. It's pretty wild what you can do with AI these days, and as an assistant professor who is chronically short on time, this made some of the more mundane, time-consuming parts of preparing a presentation go much more quickly. Platforms like ChatGPT and others are already changing the way we browse the internet, find information, and create new media. Of course, there are valid concerns surrounding this technology, but I'm optimistic about its potential to help teachers automate mundane tasks and focus on the art of teaching. If we teach our students to use AI responsibly, they can explore creative collaborations that go beyond simple automated and superficial generations. With the right mindset, AI can be a powerful tool that enhances personal creativity for both teachers and students. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to reach out to me by email. I'm always eager to connect with others who share my passion for this topic, and I'd love to hear how you may be using AI in your own classrooms. Enjoy the rest of your virtual conference.